Hi everyone, my name is Ricardo Cossio and today I will talk to you about research being bold doesn't guarantee better fighting performance, the case of a poison frog. During agonistic encounters, several traits can contribute to individuals' fighting ability, including body size, weapon size, strength, endurance, among others. These traits are often termed as resource holding potential, which represent the phenotypic variation that determine winners and losers. These can be influenced by morphological and physiological traits. Recently, it has been shown that personality traits such as boldness can also contribute to this resource holding potential. In this research, we want to study the relationship between boldness and fighting performance using strawberry poison frog Oophaga pumilio. This is a highly territorial species that defends their sites using acoustic signal and physical combat. It has been shown that body size, conspicuous signal, and color can play an important role during fights. This study, for example, showed that conspicuous population of Oophaga pumilio were more aggressive and more explorative than cryptic ones. In this map, conspicuous color morphs are represented by a yellow star, and the rest, the green ones, are the cryptic ones. This is why, to measure the relationship between boldness and fighting performance, we use a red color morph from Isla Bastimentos in Bocas del Toro. In this research, we want to answer two questions. Does boldness predict fighting performance? And does fighting performance affect subsequent boldness level? We collected 94 males in the field and kept them individually in outdoor terraria at the Smithsonian Research Station in Colon Island, Bocas del Toro. To quantify boldness, we measured the willingness to forage and move after predator attack simulations. We carried out all the experiments in this study on the laboratory condition. During boldness tests, we used bird as a predator model, mounted on a controlled speed servo motor, as you can see in the picture on the left. We test boldness in the home of each individual and monitor the behavior with a camera mounted above the terrarium. Frogs were given 30 seconds to ascend their home and eat as we fed them with fruit flies. After this, we exposed them with a series of predator attacks during 30 seconds, while birds struck 6 times. We repeated this procedure 3 times, one test each day, 3 days before and 3 days after the fighting trial, as shown here. 24 hours after the last pre-fight boldness test, we set up a fighting test where we placed 2 sized matched males in a neutral cage for a total of 47 fight trials. We use this cage to avoid resident effect, as it has been shown that influence the fighting sources in this species. In this cage, we place each male at the center inside a transparent cup for 5 minutes. After this time, we lifted the cup and allowed the males to interact freely. During the fighting test, we recorded a behavior using this table. These behaviors have been reported elsewhere for this species. Using the values of each behavior, we calculated an aggressive intensity score using the equation you see here. We use the total time as it provides more information about the intensity of the fight. Therefore, in our experiment, fighting performance is expressed in terms of a continuous variable, aggressive intensity, instead of a categorical value, win or lose. We also calculated a body condition index for each individual from the residual of a simple linear regression between body mass and the size of each male. As a result, we found that neither boldness nor body condition predict performance, as you can see in these 3 graphs. Therefore, other factors might influence this, maybe the physiological state of the individuals before or during the fight, or the dorsal brightness of the frogs, as we mentioned before. We also found that aggressive score intensity doesn't affect post-fight boldness, as you can see in these graphs. Nonetheless, we found that individuals show lower latency, as you can see here, after the fight. Likewise, the pattern of pre-fight and post-fight boldness show that males from this population behave bold in general. However, we cannot conclude that this is a widespread pattern in this species, as this might be population specific. In summary, under our experimental design, boldness did not predict the fighting performance, and previous fighting performance didn't affect boldness level. Thank you so much for your attention.